Hi guys, Victoria here for Picket Studios. Today I want to share with you December's launches, and it contains our furry friends, and that's cats and dogs, and lots of lovely stamps, dies and sentiments. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the two die sets, well, stamp sets I should say, sorry, that I'm going to be working with today. And I'm going to be using this Hold Your Heart in Your Paw. And as you can see there, it's a beautiful sketched image. And can't you see your fur baby within that face? I certainly can, that's for sure. Anyway, we have some fantastic sentiments in this set. Well, congratulations. We are happy you have a new family member. And then we have another one here that I absolutely adore. And it says, dogs are a gift to fill our hearts. And how true is that? Feel better, sweet friend. And the other one is 4 paws on 1 wet nose is home. And how true is that? And then obviously at the bottom here we have with our deepest sympathy. So there are plenty of stamps, and of course that paw print there. So I think that's a wonderful sketched image. And then here I'm going to be using today just this little heart stamp here with dog written in it. But as you can see, you've got ones for cats and dogs within this stamp set. Now these don't have coordinating dies. We're just going to be stamping these, and we're actually going to be fussy cutting this dog today. But you can stamp it flat as well, and I'll show you a couple of cards that I've created using these sets. Okay, so that's a little bit of housework. We're going to be using today an A2 card. So our card blank will be 5.5 by 4.25, and then we will be using a matten layer onto that same card, which we're going to be stamping on, and that is 5.25 by 4 inches. So this is the card we have here, and we're going to be inking on this, so I'll just put that to one side. Okay, all will become apparent as we go. So now then, this is the card that we are going to be making today. So isn't that adorable? And it's so 3D, I think. Those little puppy eyes just follow you everywhere. And that's the card we're going to make today. But on the same token, with this release, you do get a fantastic stencil. And this is a 6 by 8, and it's a 2 layering stencil. So as you can see here, you have a paw print, and then you have the bone. There's another stencil as well in the collection, which has a little fish and the paw print. So that can be for your cats if you're a cat lover. Such a good stencil for all different card sizes, whether you're in the US, UK. We all tend to make bigger cards in the UK. But this will cover both. So this is what I've used on this next card I'm going to show you, just to say you can use your Olo markers as well. So here, this looks like it's a built-up layer. It's actually flat. It's actually flat there. And we've just masked the stamp whilst we've done the stenciling. And then we've coloured in this image with Olo markers. And this is one of those fabulous sentiments that I've just shown you. So that just shows you a different look as well. So I'm going to go on and plough ahead. So I'm going to get the stamping platform out. So we're going to be using our stamp wheel today from old to new. And I'm going to be stamping on Watercolour Card today. And we're going to actually draw the colour out with a water brush pen. So if you're not very confident in using alcohol markers or paints, this is a good way to start, because it really is very easy. So this is what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this gorgeous cute face. So I'm going to go in there with Black Distress. Now if you have the black alter new inks, then you could use those exactly the same way. I just don't happen to have a black as yet in my collection, but will have very soon. So down we go, and then just press all over quite firmly, because there's lots of little areas. And then I'm going to bring that up, and isn't that fabulous? Now I always do a 2 stamp. That's just my preferred choice. So I'm just going to go in lightly, just gentle tapping. Always take your ink pad to your stamp, and then let's do that second impression. Not everybody likes to do a second impression, but that's my preferred choice. There we go. And voila. Isn't that fabulous? I love this image so much. There we go. Just gently tease that from your stamping wheel. And then I'm going to put that to one side. There we go. So I have my little palette here, and I'm just going to add a little water in there, and then I have my trusty little water brush, very old one, but it's old and faithful, so we will go with that one. So I'm gently just going to wet the end of my brush, and then in here we have some of the black ink that I've previously added, and it's just from the ink pad. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in so that you can take a better look there at what I am doing. Okay, so let's move that so you can see. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the colour out. Now if you have too much on your brush, you can go in and you can remove. So if you think, oh, gone a little bit heavy there, you can take it away. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you'll see in these areas where you have no sketch lines, that's where you can take a little bit of colour away if you want, and you can go in a little bit lighter. I tend to drag the colour out, make sure there's not too much water on my brush, and I'll take that colour away and fetch it out, and I'll just add a little bit to my brush, take it away, and then bring that colour out. And I will just carry on going through this image, and I shall go in lighter places and darker places. So there I would have all this kind of quite dark, and I would have all this kind of dark here, and I'd be lighter in the middle. Same here, I would have light here, and I'd go in darker where there's more sketch lines, because the artist and illustrator has put all those places in for you to make it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go ahead now, and I'm just going to pull all the colour out, and I will join you at the end and we'll make the card together. And you can go in now and you can add more black if you want to. You can go in with a little bit more shading, take more time. You can go in there and you can add a little darker colour for the eye here. I've actually got one here now, all dry, and we've added a little darker rim in the eye, and then we've gone in with just a little white gel pen here just to make those eyes pop a little bit more. So if we go in here with our Deco Gel Milky Way, and you can just go in there inside the eye, and it just makes everything pop a little bit more. A little bit there, and see how it makes that eye pop there. So that's a great tip with the gel pen. So he's ready now to go onto the card. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom back out now. There we go. And what we're going to do now is we're going to ink the card front. So what we've got now, let's move this out of the way. There we go. I'm going to be using the 5x6 paper inking palette, and that's available on the website. So we're going to be using that today because it just helps hold your card in place so that you can work on it. So that will stay there now, and I'm not having to hold it. Now I've already gone ahead and I've stamped another image here, and then I've fussy cut round the edge with some scissors, and I've just got a little sticky post-it note on the back there just to keep it in place. Now you could put spray adhesive on there to hold it in place, and then I'm just going to place this towards the bottom of the card where I want it to be. And then we're going to go in with Alter New inks, and we're going to go in with this gorgeous colour here, the Aqualicious colour. And these come in the sets of 4, so this is the second tone in, and we're going to be using one of our ink blending sponges, and we're just going to lightly go around the stencil, adding like a little halo all the way around. And you don't need a lot of ink to do this, just a little bit, and just go around there just to add that little pop of colour. Okay, and then brush out towards where you see the whiskers because they are very fine. Okay, and I think that will do for colour. See how it adds that lovely hue. And these, if you're not used to these, they just have a quarter turn and they click in place, so they're secure. So they're fantastic ink pads. If you've never used them before, they're a definitely must have. They're on my wish list for more colours. So then we can remove that stencil there, our little mask, and then carefully peel it away from our palette. And then we can add foam pad to the back. So we're just going to put a foam pad on the back there, and then we're going to add this to our card blank. Peel that off there, and I'm just going to stand and hover over so I get him more or less straight on there. There we go. And then we're going to add our little cheeky chap. We remove the foam pads. There we go. I like a fair bit of foam on the back of my topper just to make sure it's absolutely supported. So there we go. And we're just going to line that up. place that down there. And already you can feel the card coming together. So I've already gone ahead and stamped the little tag to go under his chin there. So I'm just going to add some wet adhesive. So I'm just going to lightly put some adhesive on the back there. Let's move that out of the way. And it's just going under his chin, as you would see a little tag on his collar. And then put that to one side, and I'm just going to heat emboss the sentiment that we want. So we're going to have the congratulations. So I'm just going to get my stamp wheel back again. There we go. And there we go. So I'm just going to place that on top there. Make sure he's straight. Wiggly, wiggly, wiggly. There we go. Don't want to get my head in shot. We want to make sure we're nice and straight there. And then we're going to bring that down there. And then hopefully, oh, there she goes. Squiffy, squiffy. Let's do that again. There we go. And let's go down straight. There we go. And then I'm going to use the clear emboss, because we're going to heat emboss this sentiment. So let's go down there. Lift it off carefully. There we go. And I'm going to put some white fine embossing powder on there. Have we got a pair of tweezers to hand? Let's hope so. There we go. We set off with the best of intentions of having all the tools by our sides. And I've already gone over this card with an anti-static bag so that we don't have any embossing powder stick where we don't want it. There we go, and we're just going to heat emboss that. Let's put that to one side. Excuse the noise for a moment. Let that heat up. And then you can see it heat from behind. You'll be able to see it turn white as it's heating. There we go, it's starting to go now. There we go. We'll just let that cool. We'll put the embossing powder back in the jar before Vicky spills it somewhere. There we go. Put that out of the way. And then I'm just going to adhere this sentiment, whoops, to the backing card. And there we go. And if you get any glue showing. It will dry clear, so try not to worry about that. And then we're going to place this on the card there. So I'll just make sure it's straight. There we go. And then to finish the card, we're going to be using these absolutely gorgeous sequins, and they are called Catitude. And in here we have some little hearts, and there's some little fish. So I'm just going to take a heart or two off there. One for there, one for there. But if you can see, look at this. Oh, little fish. Isn't that cute? So we have those, and I am just going to add one or two little sequins there. I think we'll have another tiny one there, and yeah, that will be just right. So I'm just going to add a little bit of wet adhesive, just a blob, just a blob. And I'm going to use my little pick up tool and then place that down there. Place another one there. Down he goes. And then with the sequins, again, just a small amount of glue where you want them to go. And don't forget that the glue dries clear. So when they're dry, the glue will not show. But you only need a tiny little bit. I'll put that away and just tease that one down. There we go. And we'll let that dry. But that is the gorgeous little card to send to one of your friends that loves dogs. But like I said, this set, there's cats, there's dogs, there's lots of different things to play with in this December's launch, in the release. Lots and lots to play with. And I've made quite a few cards already, but these are the two that I wanted to share with you. So as you can see, this has been masked off and is flat but looks 3D, using that fantastic stencil that's in the set with a different sentiment. And we've used the Olo markers there, and then here we've just drawn the colour out, if you've seen, and then added a little bit of darker colour back into the darker areas. Used the white gel pen, coloured around the edge of the image there with, again, a mask technique. And there we've got two beautiful cards. So we just want to say thank you very much for joining me today, and I will be back with you soon. If there's anything that you need to know, the card measurements and the products used in today's video will be listed in the description, and everything will be available from Picket Studios website. So take care, guys, and I'll see you all soon.